have our next speaker, just a quick word from me. So I am a local councillor. My name's Councillor Mandy Clare, Cheshire West and Chester councillor. I support this protest today. I've been speaking up on my concerns about the inappropriateness of these kinds of events, mini pride for 3 to 7-year-olds, for quite a while. And anybody within politics who speaks up on these issues is in for a rough ride. We've had some really serious accusations, misrepresentations and abuse within the media and on social media especially. So anyone who's prepared to stand up and say that they're concerned about the impacts of these kinds of events, that they're not what they're being advertised as, and that we're not anti-gay or anything like that. We've got a friend of ours today who is a gay man who is willing to speak up against these kinds of events as well. The misrepresentations are difficult to weather, they are, and they're so severe that sometimes it can make you wonder whether it is wiser to not speak up, to not turn up. So I'm really grateful to our very prestigious speakers who have decided they're going to run the gauntlet and support us and back us by turning up to speak here today. So our next speaker is Baroness Fox. So Claire Fox, formerly known as Baroness Fox of Buckley, is a British writer, broadcaster, journalist, lecturer and politician who now sits as an independent peer in the House of Lords. She is a prominent advocate for free speech and open debate. Her key achievements include the founding of the Academy of Ideas, a think tank now in its 6th year, an organisation dedicated to fostering unconstrained public debate on contentious issues. And Claire is also the convener of its annual Battle of Ideas Festival, providing a vital forum within the UK for free expression against perceived censorship and no platforming trends. Claire is a long-standing panellist on BBC 4's Radio 4's The Moral Maze for over 20 years until around 2020. I used to listen to that programme and think that Claire sounded quite scary, but having met her since in person, I can attest that she is very nice and not scary at all. Claire Fox's work has made her a notable and important voice in UK debates on free speech, identity politics and democratic accountability, and we're all about that. So please welcome Baroness Fox of Buckley.
Thanks very much. I'd just like to start off by saying thank you to Mandy for organising this, and also she's been talking about this initiative of, I couldn't believe it, Pride for Children for some time, and this is the first time I've been able to get here. The fact that she's stuck with it doggedly is a testament to her. So can we just give Mandy a big round of applause? Listen, the thing I want to really emphasise is that I am a great supporter of artistic freedom. In fact, I am somebody who has been to many productions in Storyhouse, and I think it's a real shame that a great artistic institution like Storyhouse has got to the point where it's so obsessed with an inclusion agenda that it's prepared to sacrifice young people in the way that they're doing with this particular event. Now, the one thing I won't do is shut up. The thing which matters about free speech is that rather than telling people to shut up, you listen to them and then disagree with them, and you have an argument, not kind of flounce off in a huff. Right, there are lots of programming decisions that Storyhouse have made that give me the creeps slightly. So I love Shakespeare, was quite keen to go and see Macbeth, but then I discovered that it's been rewritten by a northern neurodivergent queer trans woman, and I thought, oh, maybe not. But that's my decision as an adult, and people are allowed to experiment with artistic expression. That's fine. The reason why I came here today, though, was that I'm very concerned about an event that normalises to toddlers, 3 to 7-year-olds, the idea that they could be born in the wrong body. It absolutely terrifies me that we would say to children that actually the exploration and the imagination of being a child can be taken literally. It is true that children I've known have wanted to grow up to be everything from a dinosaur that we saw here to want to fly by jumping off the roof. And generally speaking, what you say is, no, That's not happening. What we can't do is allow our children to be told quite seriously that there is a problem with biological sex. Young people should have great fun experimenting. It is not great fun, however, if they go down the road of thinking that their body is something they hate and should change. It is not great fun if they think that biological sex is a myth and that you can just simply change it at your will. That is misinformation, that is lying to children, and it leads to social transitioning, which in turn can lead to medical intervention. As we speak, there is going to be a medical trial for puberty blockers for children. That is an incredibly unethical thing to do. And as somebody in Parliament who keeps speaking out about this very thing, it's quite straightforward. Children should be told when they say, I don't like my body, that they should love their body, that they should not be embarrassed by any aspect of their body. That a young woman who thinks that, oh, maybe this is a horrible body and I want to be a boy, we reassure them, not affirm their insecurities. And that starts much earlier on when you have things like these mini prides which tell young people that their natural, sexual, biological body might be up for grabs. Literally, might be something that they can change. And the points that Stephanie made about safeguarding are well made, about not allowing them to understand that some of the men who claim that they are women might not be people that they should associate with. But I'm worried about them, their own view of themselves. So very straightforwardly, this Pride event for 3 to 7-year-olds is completely misplaced. To just emphasise finally, I am a great supporter of LGB Alliance and everything to do with equality for people who are lesbian, gay and bisexual. It's the TQ++ that actually should be divorced from that LGB. It is essential that young people are absolutely and totally encouraged to understand the importance of equal rights. It is also hugely important that young people are not told that they should, because they believe in equal rights, show respect to people who invade women's spaces when they've got a T associated with them, or that actually you can change your biological sex. So well done to Mandy, all of you are here. There's a high price to pay for speaking out. There's a much higher price to pay for letting children be swept up by what is a social contagion, incredibly dangerous, leaves children unsafe, confused, and will lead to a lifetime of misery. So we should stick with it, speak out, take the brickbats and the shut-ups from the people wandering past. We have to have courage and be brave. There's not enough people yet who are, but the tide, as you know, is turning, and we need to make sure it turns in Chester. This is a council subsidised, tax-paying event. It's a disgrace. If they want to do it privately, fine. But why the ordinary people of Chester should have their arts centre corrupted by this agenda is something which I hope you'll lobby the local council about and tell them they're wasting public money dangerously. Thank you very much for inviting me.